Hey everybody, how are you? Welcome to another episode of the Deal Hound Club. I am Ron Douglas, and today is going to be a little bit different because of two things. One, I haven't I haven't found that many good deals, and so I'm going to sometimes you just don't push it, right? And so some days it's just not smart to make a purchase. But more importantly, I've gotten people asking me how I made my money and how I, made money in cars. And so I'm going to touch on that just a little bit. Um, and and some people recognize my voice. I didn't realize that it was that unique, but some people have recognized my voice from a Discovery Channel show that I used to do called Blue Collar Backers. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit today and how blue collar backers and flipping cars, or how flipping cars and that background from that and my story about flipping cars turned into blue collar backers. And I'm just going to discuss cars. I'm going to pick out a few cars and show you a few things to look for, and and basically talk to you about how I made my first million with flipping cars. So um, now my time goes way back, long before um, Facebook Marketplace was even a thing, before Facebook was even real. Um, back in the 90s, I know it's dating myself, but back in the 90s, I used to just drive for dollars. I'd just drive around and ask people about their cars in their fields, and I would flip cars that were parked in at houses one at a time. And then I realized that that was taking way too long, and I started going to wrecking yards all throughout Texas. And back in the late 90s, every wrecking yard knew my name, had my card, had my business card, and they would call me with things that I was looking for. So, for instance, all the Mustangs, anything that was 65 to 65 to 70 Mustangs, Camaros, Chevelles, pickup trucks, 73 to 9 Fords, 73 to 80, so actually 67 to 80, 87, 67 to 87 Chevy box trucks, 86 box trucks, and all their parts too, because I was buying up. I was buying their doors. I was buying the beds. I was buying cabs, and I was shipping those to rusted areas like Minnesota, New York, things like that. And so I got to after selling thousands and thousands of cars, literally, I've gotten to the point where I can spot a car and know if it's a good one to flip. And so I'm going to show you a couple of examples here just to give you an idea. And I'm not saying this is the right answer for every car deal, but this is just kind of in general. Like, for instance, this one has terrible eye appeal, right? I mean, look at this. This whole freaking quarter's full of Bondo. This is a parts car at best. It just does not have any sort of eye appeal whatsoever. Um, and I wouldn't even mess with this because nobody's going to even look at this car. I mean, it needs fenders, needs quarters, needs everything, and it's just terrible. Whereas something like, let's see, where's the other one I saw here? Now here's a red one that just has a little bit more. Well, that one's not the one I was thinking of. Where'd it go? Like this, for instance. See how this has nice white interior against red. Now, of course, this is a lot more money, but I'm not talking about money wise right now. I'm talking about eye appeal. So, the red against the white really stands out. Here's another example. Now, see, this is a great T-bird because it's the red and the white. The only thing that I would like it to have is I would like it to have white interior with a white top. That would really make it stand out. Um, this one is a good eye appeal. with the blue color. It's not a factory color, doesn't look like, um, but this is a decent 10-footer, 20-footer car is what I call those. And that looks okay, but see the difference here. Now look at this one. Even though this is a 302 4-speed car, which is a desirable car, it just doesn't have the look. It's brown on brown, turd on turd, with a 4-speed and bench seat. It just doesn't, this just does not have the eye candy that you're looking for. And sometimes that's okay. If the price is right, the price is right, and it doesn't matter. But sometimes it does matter. See, like this one. This one has a good stance. It's got good, appeal. The black scoop, black on black. All the accessories are blacked and matched, and then the interior is black. Yeah, see, this one's got great eye candy. So it's black and red, right? Let's see. Give you another example. Let's see if we can do it in junker form here. So this one's not in perfect form, but see, this is a nice one, right? So this is black with a white top, is it red interior? Yeah, red interior. This one's got good color to it, right? And so this one's highly attractive, and sought after colors. Unfortunately, they dinged the fender here. I would replace if I was to flip this one, I would probably put a new fender on this one, paint it black as best I can to match, and a new bumper. Anyway, I'm not saying that this is a good deal. I don't, that's not even what I'm talking about here. I'm just strictly talking about eye candy, like this one, for instance. Here's another. This was notorious. See how this would completely look different if it was pulled out of the weeds. The tires were aired up, everything was cleaned up, everything was in the trunk instead of all over the interior. Does that make sense? And just give it a better appeal. Paint the wheels black if you have to. Just something simple as that will make and break a deal. A lot of times, let me see. There was that one. Okay, now I'm not into this year Pontiac Grand Prix. That's not what I'm talking about. But look at these wheels. These wheels are horrible. They are limited on who would pick this car. And it ruins the whole car. If it was me, and let's just say this was a good deal and I had to have this car to flip, I would buy the car, and then I would literally sell the wheels and tires off of it and put a stock set of wheels and tires on it, because then it opens up, put a set of these on it, these stock Pontiac wheels, and you'll sell the car 10 times faster, and you're not limiting your audience. And then I also look for, so there's a couple of things that I look for on a car when I'm looking at the car. Let me see if I can find a good example. Yeah, this one might be a good example. Okay, so do you see, look at the body line here. See how the body line does not line up? See how it doesn't line up? These are all the things that I look for when I'm looking at a car. I look at the gaps, and I make sure all the gaps are even. Now, it's hard to tell when you've got a picture in just one position. It's better to do this in person, obviously. But I would walk around the car, and I would look at this, see this body line, and see how it gaps bigger here, and then it gaps smaller here, and then you got another funky body line right here. So nothing is lining up on this hood. These are all the things. Even if people don't recognize it and they can tell that it's off, they just can't pinpoint why it's off. But this is why. Okay, so if you can align this stuff and get this all lined back up, that's better. If you cannot, because the car's been wrecked and hidden, I would skip it. I would skip the car completely. Do you see how the body line, look at this gap right here. Now people will stand right here in front of this car, and they will look down this body line, and they will see gap here, gap there, gap here, and it's just not appealing. Okay, and again, to an amateur or somebody who's this is their first time buying a classic car, they may not even know what's a turnoff. They can't pinpoint it, but you can. See here? See the gap here and the gaps here and the gap here? Yeah, that's all a problem. Interior looks great. See, I've always liked these Grand Prix with these triple gauges on them. I always thought the interiors on these Grand Prix were pretty cool. But that's that's not what we're talking about. We're just focusing on just strictly things that detract from the beauty of the car. Now let's go to one that doesn't happen to. Of course, it's going to be bigger money, but let's just find one. Here we go. Now see this door. Look at that. Body line matches perfect. Body line perfect. Body line perfect. See, and then you can tell just even in this picture that door gap is perfect all the way around. Does that make sense? It's got good eye candy. Again, and blue on blue is a little bit too much for me, but it's still got good color to it. It's got good appeal. I love these wire wheels with the white walls. Again, look at this door. Perfect gaps, perfect body lines. Look at that. So that is perfect. That's what you're looking for. So when you go to look at a car, you look at everywhere where body lines match up with like the bumpers, the hoods, the trunks, the doors, all that stuff, and make sure everything lines up. And again, if it doesn't, just make sure that it's something that you can fix. And if you can't, walk. Or consider it a parts car, or considering it a lot less valuable car. That one has good lines. Okay, so let's go to another one and see if I can show you another example. Yeah, here's one with lots of body lines. Okay, so let's get out of the video. Do you see the body lines all line up? Yeah, so that looks good. That looks good. And I'm not saying that this is a perfect deal. I don't think this is a great deal. I'm just saying that these are the things you want to look for. And that's one of those things, like I said, that people do not realize how much it takes away from the appeal of the car, and they can't pinpoint it. So that's really important. Okay, so now the other thing is when I negotiate on cars, let's find one here. I don't know. Let's use this one as an example. I don't even know what this is. Okay, so I love when people say, "Oh, this thing fully restored is worth, let's just say 25 grand, right?" And he wants 5,000 for the car. Okay, needs full restoration. And I say, yeah, you're right. It'll bring 25 grand fully restored. It's going to cost $2,000 to put new quarter panels on it. It's going to cost another $8,000 to restore the interior. So we're already up to 10 grand plus the car, so 5,500, and we didn't even put a paint job on it yet. That's just the interior and quarter panels. Do you see how fast you can walk that price up and then make them realize that their price is way too high? So yeah, I might as well just go buy a $25,000 complete one that's done and in perfect condition, rather than spend 5 grand on this and have to spend 10 grand to rebuild the motor, 10 grand for the interior, and 10 grand on body work and paint. So that's 30 grand right there, and that's about average. So you can guesstimate that. If you have to rebuild a motor, it's 5 to 10 grand. Interior, 5 to 10 grand. Exterior, paint and body, 5 to 10 grand. And you can see how quickly those things add up. Now, it's an $80,000 car or a $100,000 car, it's totally worth it. But it's not worth it if it's a $30,000 car. because you're not going to get your money back out of it. So what I suggest on those cars, as you have looked, if you've watched any of my past videos, you will understand that the importance here is to take a car to the next level, not necessarily to showroom shape. I'll give you an example. Here, let's see if we can find an example real quick. Actually, let's just go in the ones that I've saved in the past, because those will be ones that I've already thought were worth it here. Okay, so let's just pick one of these. Okay, so here's a good example. This one it doesn't run. Okay, so you're looking at a couple of grand to get it running. I didn't say restore the motor and rebuild the motor. Hopefully you don't need to, and if you have to, you can swap out the motor. You're looking at, maybe 2 grand to buy a used engine and put it in. Get it running. Okay, so now you're in at 2 grand, 4,500, and so now you're already pushing the max on what the truck is worth. So my opinion on this one would be to buy it for 25, clean up anything that put matching wheels and tires on it. That would be the one thing that I would do, and then do your best to get it running. Chances are, a lot of times these have timing chain issues, or it was parked because of a water pump or something silly, and it's been sitting too long, and you just need to break it free and get it running. A lot of people just want to know that they can drive it up on the trailer. Okay, so I would grab a can of primer, and I would paint this whole thing so it's all one color. I would put a set of wheels and tires on it. You can buy a set of wheels and tires for $500 on Facebook Marketplace. A couple cans of paint, and then getting it running. And then I would ask $4,500 for it. Do you see the difference? Okay, let's try another one here. Let's see if I can find another one. Dang, that was a good deal. That one went quick. See, this is one of those, this is perfect. Here's one that you don't have to do nothing to. They just priced it too low. I would just take this at 6,500, maybe you give it a bath, and list it at 85, and just make a quick 2 grand on it. You could probably list this for 10.5, to be honest with you, and you'd probably get it. 12, maybe pushing it, but depends on, it's a 390, so it was a 390 car, so not a 352 or a small block. So yeah, I think this car looks like it's an automatic on a column, bench seat. I think you can easily get 10.5 for that car. So this is a perfect example of just a buy and flip. Here's one. Let's see if I remember this one. Okay, so on this one, wash the hood, wash it up, air up the tires, get some tires that match. Oh yeah, this one doesn't have no engine in it. That's not a good example. It's just, oh, this one sold so quick, doggone it. Actually, this was I remember about this one, but let's just talk about this one. See, this was a perfect example of what you could do to fix this one. Obviously, paint. Soap and water would take this, make this look 10 times better. Just washing it and detailing it out, airing up the tires, maybe getting a set of white walls against that white interior or the white exterior, and cleaning up the rust. And what I mean by the cleaning up the rust is you don't have to fix the rust. You just have to get rid of all these rust stains. See all these rust stains around here? And making that rust spot look way worse than it is. You can clean this up and just get it so it's all white paint, and all you will see is just a thin thing of rust. Like right here, you can get this to where it's just a small section of rust and the rest of it's white around it, just by cleaning it up and detailing it out. Doing that will make all the difference in the world. Yeah, this one sold. I knew this was going to sell quick too. Here's another one. Needs a carburetor, needs cleaned up, and then a front end put on it. I would have put the front end on this thing. Needed two fenders. I already had the headlights and grill and everything in the back. It needed a couple of fenders and a bumper, I think, and a new carburetor. I would have done all of that. I would have detailed the heck out of the interior right here, and I would have listed this at $3,000. You know, buff out the paint, polish it up as best you can. Don't worry about like this, like where it's peeling right here. That's see, people look at this. A lot of flippers will look at this and go, "Oh, the paint can't be corrected because of this." Bull crap! Look at back here. Um, Look at this. This whole area could have been cleaned up and look like this. So you can make the rest of the car look really good, and people will overlook this when the rest of the car is bright blue and looks sharp. Does that make sense? So it's okay to not have perfect paint, but what's not okay is to just ignore the rest of the paint. 98 or 95% of the paint job is in good shape. So bring it up to perfect shape or great shape, and that makes all the difference in the world. Okay? Something like this, you can't do that to, obviously. I mean, it's just brown and rusty. I mean, that's just not going to work. But on the ones that it does work, do it. Um, let's see. Here's another example of why a car doesn't sell. See, this one is very undervalued. I feel like this car is worth a lot more than it is. But the reason why is they didn't take 10 minutes and pull it out and get pictures. I mean, look at these pictures. That's the three pictures. I mean, how terrible is that? You're not even taking advantage of how beautiful that interior is. Look at this white trim that goes all the way around onto the dash. This is beautiful. Somebody spent a lot of time making this really, really nice, and they're not taking advantage of any of it. Again, a body line. See how perfect that body line is? Or the body gaps. I'm sorry, not the body line, the body gaps. So, yeah, that's what you're looking for. This is a good car. This car is worth a lot more than 20, but they're not even getting 20 because of the terrible pictures. Roll this sucker out, take it down to the local city park, clean it up, and take some pictures in the parking lot of a city park. I mean, it's not that hard. Okay, so here's an example. This one sold within hours. And I don't even necessarily agree. I hesitated putting this one on here because it was a 3-speed on the column. 390. One, that was one problem with it. Two, I thought $9,000 was just about pushing it. Excuse me. I thought $9,000 was just about pushing it, but the reason why this sold is because it had the look. It has the old school thrust wheels, torque thrust wheels, and it's red with red interior. It just looked good. Yeah, look at that. It's I would have converted this to a 4-speed car, and so and brought more money. But that's just me. I wouldn't have. Some people don't want to do that, and that's totally fine. I'd put brand new red carpet in this thing, and yeah, I would have listed this for 15 with a 4-speed on the floor. But all I'm saying is this car had the look, and that's the reason this thing sold so fast. Was one, it's a 63, which is one of the most desirable years for a Galaxy, and two, had the look. Yep. That one had good eye candy. That's one you could literally jump in and drive to a Cars and Coffee this weekend, and hold your head up high, because it has the look. All right, and I think that's about it. I wanted to cover for today, but I've literally made millions of dollars selling cars and parts, and you can too. And never want for nothing. I mean, they're almost available every day of the week, anywhere in the country. This was a good deal. This one sold. Actually, this one sold so fast. I didn't even have a chance to get it listed, I think. So there's also two different ways. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about. There are also two different ways you can go about it. You can do it like me, where I just do everything. If it's a good deal, I don't care if it's a Toyota, Honda, Ford, Chrysler, whatever. If it's a good deal, I buy it. Or you can get hyper focused. I got a buddy that only specializes in 73 to 9 Ford Highboys. That's it. He only deals with 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive Highboys. And and then he specialty niches on those. And so doing that, you can get hyper focused and knowing what they're really worth or the true value. Where I'm spread so wide that I can't keep track of every market, knowing when they're going up and down. I just have a ballpark, and I know that there's enough, meat on the bone that I can make some money on the deal, like this Toyota, for instance. I know Toyotas. I know that 85 was the last year for the solid front axle, which is one of the more desirable ones. Um, and this should be worth about at least 1,500. You could at least triple your money, even with a bad motor in it. So yeah, and somebody that's really really into Toyotas, he could probably squeeze out 2,500, maybe even $3,000 if you know what you're really looking for. All I'm saying is it depends on how you want to go about it. I like being diversified enough that I can buy anything or look at any car and know whether it's worth flipping or not. So, anyway, that's what I wanted to go over today, guys. Hopefully, you learned something from this. You're more than welcome to post anything you're looking for. If you're looking for a specific car that you would like me to add to my search terms, please go ahead and list it, and I will do my best to find you a good deal on that particular car that you're searching for or truck, and go from there. One last one. I knew this one was. See, this is a good eye candy one. It was a good 10-footer. See how this one looked good. Yeah, this one sold so quick. When I found that $6,000, geez, that was a no-brainer. Yeah, yeah, for a convertible that looked that good from a 20 foot away, that was a no-brainer. Anyway, guys, I hunt these cars every day. I can spot them. I zoom. I flip through these things so fast. I can usually spot good deals quickly. And so, if you guys are looking for something that has good eye candy, good appeal, and that's easy to flip, be sure to be on the list and let me know. I'm thinking about maybe even starting like a Telegram channel or something for the guys that like really want deals. I'll give you an example. I had up here on this top row, this entire top row was for today's for today's picks, and I'm down to 3, which means 4 of them got deleted before I could even get the video out. And so I've thought about, for people that are like super serious, uber serious, or something like that, if you guys really want to know when the car comes out, the second it comes out, or the second I find it, maybe I just have a Telegram channel where I can just quickly post up a link to the deal. Let me know if that's something you guys would want or you're interested in, and we can do that as well. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video valuable. I hope I helped you guys in picking classic cars or picking any car and what to look for when doing so. Thanks, guys. I will talk at you later. Take care.